power concerns. I know that if I were to do an open mic right now for all of the power concerns that you have, what the power situation is like where you are, I would probably spend the whole day here. My guest is an energy expert, obviously. He's going to join us in a bit to have a conversation with us on the power sector reforms. I love how we had Nick Agule a few days ago talk about it. We also had Ambrose Igboke yesterday also talk about the politics behind the unbundling of the power holding company of Nigeria, and a lot of things that have been left unsaid and questions unanswered. So you know what all the problems are. Now we're asking for solutions, obviously, and that's why we're going to be talking about the solutions to our power problem. And my guest, once he joins us, is going to be talking to us about that, and I hope that we have enough time to get through all of the information that he has to offer us. But most importantly, on the 5 o'clock hour, we will be joined by the presidential spokesperson, Daniel Bwala, as we talk about the state of the nation. There's a lot on the table. You know, there's so much to discuss, and I don't think that you want to miss that conversation, because there will be ample time for you to ask questions. And I love my audience because you know how to ask questions just like me. But while we wait for our guests to join the conversation, let's start by looking at, normally on the 5 o'clock hour would be doing some Balogun Broad, but we had to move it to the 4 o'clock hour so that we can have the presidential spokesperson have enough time to join us and speak to us about what's happening in the country, obviously. And there are those who've asked, where's Mr. President? Why is he not here? Those questions will be answered on the 5 o'clock hour. But let's talk about our power situation. There are those who are saying, I am on that table. Let us begin by suing the TCN, joining them with our discos in lawsuits. Maybe they would, because I don't think that the power holding companies or the distribution companies, I beg your pardon, are bereft of ideas, or that the Ministry of Power, which I think should be privatized, by the way, there should just be a department that oversees the inner workings. Look at what's happening with telecoms. Why can't we do the same thing with power? And these are questions that really need answers. And I really wish that one day we would be graced with the presence of the power minister to help us make sense of what's happening. But until then, maybe if these lawsuits begin to fly left, right, and center, that way, ideas will be coming. They'll just keep streaming in. I'm thinking, if we give these people a run for their monies, because explain to us how we're supposed to have meters, and those meters have not been given to us. And when you do decide to give us those meters, you try to look for all kinds of ways to fleece us of monies, so that we pay, buy this, buy that. And then the places that do not have meters, the number of people that do not have meters and are using estimated billing, the percentage is pretty high. And some people have been banded in a way that you wonder to yourself, what are these bans supposed to achieve? Is it criminal? Is it fraudulent? These are questions that the minister needs to answer. But my guest has just joined us, so we'll make the best of the 4 minutes we have before we go on that first break. And then, of course, when we come back, we'll talk more. My guest is joining us live via Zoom. His name is Yusuf Tumi Abubakar. He is the CEO, ENA Des Moines. Okay, yes. Des Moines is in Iowa. Yes. Yusuf, it's so good to have you join us. I know that we had a little situation with the timing. Thank you for joining us and welcome on Hard Facts.
The pleasure is mine, Maryann. How you doing?
Great. So my audience, obviously, in fact, Nigerians generally are fed up with the power situation in the country. There are those who are saying, hey, just throw the whole system into a privatization, a proper privatization, like what we have with the telcos. Why is that not being done? And then there are those who are querying the unbundling of the power holding company situation to start with, that it wasn't done properly, and that's why we found ourselves in this situation. But then there are also those who are saying the GenCos are not to be blamed because these guys generate power, but the power is not even taken by the DISCos because they do not have the capacity to take these power and generate it, or rather distribute it. If you were trying to explain the Nigerian energy and power situation to an outsider, how would you paint it?
You've said a lot, man. You've talked about Gencos, Discos, and you know, um, we've had power issue for as long as I can remember growing up. How we shouted up Nepper when there's Nepper, and it gets exciting, but I'm very big on decentralized energy. I'm looking at our population; we are over 200 million. I don't expect us to be on the grid 24/7 because the grid do collapse, whether it's functional or non-functional, whether it's based on the fact that we have situations that are above our control, like bad weathers and all that kind of stuff, or technology itself. Um, I think, not to cast blames, but also to prefer solutions and looking at how we can move forward. And I would also talk about the 50-50 mix of the policy which Mr. President brought, the solar, wind, and hydro. We have those in abundance. Why are we not using that to bridge the gap? And I think, like you said, rightly said, we should bring more players. We have over 200 million people. What we have right now is not as effective as it should be. So I feel like it is very important we look at alternative means of generating electricity and ways of which we can bridge this gap, either to support the pre-existing network that we have in terms of distribution, to support the pre-existing grids that we have. So honestly, if we are really going to be an industrious nation, we need to fix the power problem. We also need to make sure we're open for investors to come in. Like I said, and I've always said this, it's a proven-driven venture, sorry. And when you're doing as much as 1 megawatts power, you're talking about give or take 1.8 to $2 million. It is not cheap. Power is not cheap anyway. Our company started in Des Moines, and I can tell you, we still till today we have grid failure, whether it's natural disaster or just general upgrade of the grid. It's gonna fail, but we also need backup system. When the grid fails, how do you back up? We need a metering system where Nigerians should find a way to, let's start paying for the electricity. Let's also find a way to also minimize because we also waste electricity, in all fairness. We switch on the
Well, the average Nigerian who's listening to you saying, where's the electricity to start with, let alone the wastage? How about we start by having at least 24 hours of power? Then we now start talking about waste. But Yusuf, let's take a quick break. When we come back, it's going to be a 12-minute break. When we come back, we'll talk solutions, because that's what we want to talk about. We all know what the problems are. What are the solutions, especially in the interim? Stay with us. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
More talk, news and sports after this.
The question is not why South Africa. The real question is how you South Africa. How you'll come across 1,000 tongues that all speak in one voice. Welcome. How you can wake up with one foot firmly planted in the Indian Ocean and the other in the Atlantic Ocean. How diamonds and couture are but a stone's throw away from the safari. How your tongue will visit 1,000,000 destinations on one plate. How your feet will sway in djembe, your torso in amapiano, and your mind in bliss. How crystal clear rivers flow in the day and crystal flows in the night. Whoa. We know this because this is how we South Africa every single day. And this is why we invite you to South Africa with us. So come see, touch, taste and feel South Africa. Come journey with us. Visit www.southafrica.net and see for yourself.
Every day is about winning with OnePlay on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Now so I did on my own. Now a message enter my phone. Fiam. I can't click Fiam. Now so my money for account go. Fiam. Hey. If to say na Airtel you they use, them for first alert you before you click Airtel they identify spammers. Then alert them customers with AI powered service to make sure say you know for Mugu for Wuruwuru scam messages. No charges, no subscription needed. Me self they go join Airtel. Fiam.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
What is the square root of pi by 4?
4.0.
Wow, that's my girl. The Cowbellpedia Mega Minds is here. Don't miss a single moment of the action in the Cowbellpedia Mega Minds 2025 edition.
Over the 14 weeks, viewers also stand a chance to win prizes when they participate from home.
Tune in to Cowbellpedia Mega Minds on Africa Magic or visit our website at cowbellpedia.tv to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Cowbell. So good, so smart.
You can't choose when you get sick, but you could choose an HMO that helps you live more life. Now, you could choose an HMO with generic plans or Hygia HMO's customized plans for every stage of your life.
Now that's more like it.
You could choose an HMO with a handful of hospitals or Hygia HMO, which has a hospital network of over 2,000 providers within Nigeria with roaming options and no waiting time.
Yeah, that's more convenient.
You could also choose a cheaper HMO that doesn't quite meet your needs. Or you could have Hygia HMO's comprehensive yet affordable healthcare plans.
That's so amazing!
Life can be more with Hygia HMO. Live more life with Hygia HMO. Explore our comprehensive healthcare plans designed to meet your needs. Whether you're an individual, a family, elderly, an SME, or a corporate organization, we have affordable options for everyone. Visit our website at www.hygiahmo.com for more details. Hygia HMO. Live more life.
Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Join us as we celebrate 10 years of empowering futures. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur or a hardworking professional, we are here to support you every step of the way with our expert guidance and tailored financial solutions. The horizon is yours to explore. Join us today and start your journey to a brighter future. For more information, you can visit us at any of our branches close to you. DDMFB, Empowering Futures.
It's the greatest for me. Hunger makes your cooking fun. Happiness, we go fill your belly. Enjoy the taste and aroma daily.
Hunger for great taste and aroma.
As we gather to celebrate his resurrection,
as we share in his grace,
as families come together,
Spar brings you the joy of Easter with amazing offers on everything you need for your celebration.
This Easter, Spar Market is bringing hearts together with amazing offers. Enjoy up to 50% off on special Easter items, from ingredients to thoughtful gifts for loved ones. Available from 11th to 30th April 2025 at Spar Market stores nationwide. Spar Market, there for you.
What can your bank do for you?
Meet Jane, 25 years old. She's been having troubles acquiring a loan from her bank.
This is not okay at all. I've been with this you forever. I should fill another form. What's going on?
What can your bank do for you?
Meet Frank, 27 years old. Held up in traffic and making fruitless transactions.
Mama, I have saved the airtime, even the electricity charges. I don't know why it's so difficult making this payment.
Introducing Safri, a lifestyle digital bank that's designed just for you. With one click, you can make easy and fast payment transactions, pay bills, and even acquire easy loans. Hurry and download the Safri app on your Play Store. Visit safrisafri.com for more information. Safri, borderless banking.
My ions, please, can't get enough. My ions, please, give it to me now. It gon' rehydrate you, yeah. Replenish your ions with Pocari Sweat. Rehydrate you faster, easy, we observe. Pocari Sweat, give me some more. Pocari Sweat.
She start chasing all the bags. Come and secure another bag with the Jolly Just Come Welcome offer. Download BetKing app and register today using the promo code FREEBETS to enjoy your 100 Naira instant sign-up bonus and other exciting offers. Terms and conditions apply. Not for persons under 18 years. Play responsibly.
To take control of the money where you they make and waiting go happen next. Now the cocoa of life for plenty people there. How to manage their money? They start with how them they run things with their partner. But true, plenty sense they inside family planning. When you do family planning, you go fit to use Confido. Take the run things with your partner under the moon. You go get plenty joy as money where you they make go reach you spend. And your health and your well-being go they protected. Not under the look. Make you join body with plenty people them. We don't discover the joy with the inside of family planning for Lagos. Remember, say you fit to choose from different plans where they available and make everything sweet for your future. Visit your health center today. Oh yeah, make this move now. Make your future day full with happiness and the good health. Now the Challenge Initiative, TCI, and Development Communications Network, DEFCOMS, do this message.
Are you a business owner? Are you concerned about the identity of your staff, permanent, contract, or domestic? Look no further. Alphageric HR Partners automate your HR process with your security in mind by affording you seamless verification of your employee details. With Alphageric HR Partners, you can effectively onboard, profile, document, recruit, and manage employees. No paperwork. Store and access staff records instantly. Automate payroll and leave applications. Our verification portal enhances your security, guarantors verification, address verification, academic verification, criminal history, previous employer verification, and many more, all from the comfort of your device. Why not subscribe with us today and keep your business and family protected? For inquiries, visit www.alphageric-hrpartners.com.ng or call 0815-934-9738. Think security. Think Alphageric HR.
Mama, they don't dash me 20,000 naira wolf.
My pikin, who they dash 20,000 naira for this kind time?
That they dash everybody will get smart cash account 20,000 naira.
You mean them go dash me 20,000 naira a wolf too?
Yes, so mama. That they dash all old and new smart cash users 20,000 naira a wolf.
Oh yeah, tell your yard people make them dial *939# or download Smart Cash app to open their own account. Make themselves enjoy 20k a wolf. Every time when you buy airtime or pay bills with Smart Cash, you go chop inside your 20k. Terms and conditions they shall.
I don't see my own a wolf.
Smart Cash, powered by Airtel.
Creating and scaling a business is no easy task, but with help from a global network of partners who understand your local challenges, your growth could be exponential. At Stanford Seed, we offer just that. When you sign up for our 10-month Seed Transformation Program, you become part of our hybrid, in-person and online training programs delivered by Stanford University Graduate School of Business professors and local experts. The Seed Transformation Program gives you a transformation plan to help you create tangible results. You don't need to struggle alone with your business anymore. Begin your transformation journey now. Visit www.gsb.stanford.edu/seed or send an email to kdadsin@stanford.edu or call +234 911 046 2349. Application closes 1st of May 2025.
For 3 great seasons, the fans have fought with passion and fire, their best they brought. The banter was bold, the debates were tight, each word a weapon, each match a fight. But now it's bigger, the stakes much higher, the battle returns and it's full of fire. Grand Battle 4 with Femi and the gang on 99.3 Nigeria Info. The stage is bang. In partnership with Sports Salon, we raise the game with glory, honor, and a shot at fame. Think you've got what it takes to score? Then step right up. It's time for more. Register now and take your stand. Your time to shine is now at hand.
Registration is ongoing on www.nigeriainfo.fm.
And Battle 4. Let the battle begin.
Did you know that micro, small, and medium enterprises account for 96% of Nigeria's businesses and contribute to about half of the country's GDP? They also provide around 84% of all employment in the country. Want to know more? Join us on Board Street Drive, our new business show, 2:30 p.m. Mondays on Nigeria Info 99.3 FM. Let's talk.
Welcome back to your #1 talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories, you know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
38 minutes gone past the 4 o'clock hour. We're still talking about power solutions in Nigeria. This is a problem, whether we like it or not, that's been bedeviling the country, to put it lightly. Well, by the way, we hear that discos have been hit with an ultimatum to pay because they have been ripping off customers. Yes. So the federal government had hit them with a warning. And of course, they have, I think almost all the discos were mentioned. Eko, Ikeja. But are they going to remit those monies back to us is the question for the average Lagosian. But my guest is still here with me. Yusuf Tumi is joining us via Zoom. And we have been talking about power solutions. He's given us a little, a sneak peek into the things that we could do. He's talking about the power situation in Des Moines, Iowa. For those of you who do not know, Des Moines is in the United States of America. But to me, I did ask before we went on the break that what kind of solutions do we need in the interim? Because Nigerians are not asking for the future. Just as you said, you grew up at a time where we all said up NEPA. And they're still saying it. What are the solutions that we need in the interim, especially for government to implement in a short time?
Like I said, I'm very big on decentralized energy. Decentralized energy whereby, we have structural process that, we have mini and micro grids within areas. So at least the major grids, the loads on the major grid are a little bit reduced because, based on what we have now, we can really tell that it can't take the whole of Nigeria. We're over 200 million, if I'm not mistaken, give or take. And with the combination of the wind, solar, and hydro mix that the one of the policies the presidency is pushing, I think it's a good mix because we have 12 hours of solid sunlight, right? 12 hours of, we have some parts that we can get winds. I can tell you for around Katsina. And I know the governor is one of those guys that have been trying to revive those windmills. And why I'm saying this is if we have those decentralized grids or microgrids or mini grids, however we want to call it, it's easy for us to also feed to a central grid eventually back or support other grids. And this, for me, power is really a collaborative effort. It's not a one-man show. We have to come together and work together to achieve this goal. The federal government, the private sector. The private sector has been trying. We've been in the private sector, no matter how big or small we are trying to see how we can contribute. But also the financial sector really needs to come in, because power needs money. It needs a lot of money to go. Industrialization needs money. And without power, we can't be industrialized. Without power, we can't have jobs. We can't create industry. We can't create value chain.
Yep.
So I feel like with the natural resources we have today, we can use those to at least, take out the little we have while we build on those. And I'm very happy that, we're looking at value chain of manufacturing locally in Nigeria, which the solar slates and all that, which would also help our value chain, which will help our microchip industry eventually in the long run. So for me personally, I've always looked at two things, right? The centralization of power, creating a financial module that helps people who want to give power as a product. Power is actually a product. It's generating power is not easy. It's actually not easy. And these machineries that you need or technology that you need are really expensive, most of which we need to import for the most part. Tariffs on this should at least be leveled next to nothing. So at least we can achieve a point. And then within that space, we can create our own value chain. So I feel like with the natural resources we have, imagine Sokoto that has so much enormous sunlight. They could literally live on solar. Maiduguri has a lot of sunlight as well. Hot places. Niger has a lot of sunlight as well. So the point I'm making is we can have creative way to go about this, but we need stakeholder engagement. We need to be very, for all intents and purposes, we need to be very sincere with what we really want to achieve.
Thank you.
And
thank you for bringing the issue of sincerity, because there's a trust deficit across the board between Nigerians and its leaders. There's no level of sincerity, and so they tell us one thing and they do another. For example, you talked about some of these things that have to be imported. For example, General Electric was here. I think they went to Cross River. They had almost sealed the deal because those meters would have been produced here to make it easy, and I'm guessing several other things to help us, bridge that gap of we don't have enough meters. But that I don't know, that contract was truncated by the then governor, Professor Ben Ayade, who obviously was asking for too much, and then GE had to sell off that property to somebody else who still also is yet to open the business or even start producing, because there is no security at the free trade zone in Calabar to protect. They have had many break-ins. What should governments be doing? Because it's not enough for government to say, oh, we want to do this, we want to do that, and then they project, but then the actual plan and the follow-through does not happen. For example, I've told you about what GE is experiencing in the country, and if we must have meters or even panels produced in this country, then there has to be an enabling environment, security being one of those. What do you think?
I'm glad you mentioned security. Not having power as a national.
Oh my goodness, Tumi, your internet is very bad and we can barely hear you. It's dragging. I don't know what's happening to your internet connection, but we can barely hear you. I don't know if you can hear me, but your connection is very, very bad and we can barely hear you. And we really need to be able to hear this response. I don't know if we can salvage this.
Employment. But
okay, I think you should try again to respond to us, because we couldn't hear anything you said before. The connection was very bad. Go ahead and try again to respond to
I
us.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You're better.
I can hear you.
Go ahead and respond now. This is better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, but can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
So actually a national security threat. Not having power is actually a national, and I feel for us to be able to achieve this, the government stands more as a regulatory body, that also checks and balances the investors coming in, and also the states can now produce power. I think states should start looking at it as a structure to actually make their state more industrious, and every state has what it's been blessed with, but you also need power to achieve those things. Now, I feel if we can get more players in the private sector to come in, if we can get more financial institutions to come in, because finance is the most crucial part of power. I feel we don't talk about this so much. The banks, the credit facility, if they can come in, we would go a long way, in terms of achieving these goals. Now, in terms of the metering, I wouldn't want to talk much about and the practice, so I'll let government talk what's happening. But here, that one asking you might achieve something that is very, don't produce change. Let's so that's totally change. And how we do it, I feel the way and it also bring about decision rights, all that to finance, like I said before. So if the Bank of Industries, the Afrexim can come in, there are a lot of young players that have been working on decentralized energy or finding alternative means to give even the rural area, for instance, they've been, going into rural areas to make sure rural areas are empowered.
Yes. But so that's another question I want to ask you quickly. The REA is doing what the Ministry of Power cannot do. I mean, I had the REA boss here in the studio some time ago. They're harnessing the gas in different areas and solar power for the rural areas. How come the federal government is not taking advantage of what REA is doing? Again, calls to question why we're still talking about, the grid collapsed, the Gencos, the Discos. How come REA is doing something that the generality of the power ministry is unable to do, and these other companies are unable to do? I mean, because you talked about the fact that it needs to be a coming together of all, whether it be the private sector and of course the public sector. And I don't want to believe that the public sector is bereft of ideas, because these ideas are out here. You and I are talking about it. Why do you think it's not being put to use as it is being put to use in the rural areas? Oh dear. Tumi, I think your connection has gone again. While we try to sort you out, let's take some messages. I guess that there are questions that people want to ask you. In case you're just joining us, it's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Don't forget, presidential spokesperson Daniel Bwala joins us on the 5 o'clock hour. You don't want to miss it. Someone here says, Andersa here says, I will summarize the situation in the power sector in Nigeria, be it generation, distribution, or transmission. He said it's paucity of funds. Obviously, I'm going to support you, Tumi. All discos are presently about 5,000 megawatts of electricity. That is the electricity need of a country of 5 million inhabitants. Going by the standards of the United Nations Development Programme, only about 65 to 70% of Nigerians are connected to the national grid. That translates to about 160,000 Nigerians. This population will need about 160,000 megawatts of electricity. The investment to generate, transmit, and distribute 160,000 megawatts is in the neighborhood of $400 billion, amount which we don't have, he says. So it's safe to say that even in the next 50 years, we may not be able to solve the equation of power unless something drastic is done, taking also into consideration the population explosion. Thank you, Andose. Another person here says, okay. This one says, where is the power Nigerians are wasting? Is it the 3 hours of power supply per week that Nigerians are wasting? To me, this question is being thrown back to you, because I think I asked you that question when you were saying, well, we also need to learn how to manage our power. And I think this is the same thing that the power minister had said. Would you care to respond to that to me quickly? Are you there? To me? Can you hear us, Tumi? I think that Tumi's still trying to connect his audio. Tumi, are you here now? Okay, lovely. I have just 2 minutes to go. Someone asked a quick question. The question I asked earlier on. That where is the power that we're wasting? Is it the 2 to 3 hours of power that we have that we're wasting? Can you help us answer this question? Because you actually implied that maybe we need to learn how to manage our power. Go ahead.
No, I'm not necessarily saying Nigerians are wasting power. I'm just saying we can be a little bit conservative. Sometimes we leave our light bulbs on, and that's also because the tariffs are high now. So you need to also make sure you don't lose your tariffs. So that's what I meant. I don't mean you're actually. So those 2 hours you're going to lose on your tariffs, not necessarily because you're wasting power. But you said something that was really interesting. REA is a subsidiary of the federal government.
I know,
yeah.
But then their job is to the rural areas. Yes.
Yeah, every parastatal has what they're assigned to. And I feel like there's a bridge most parastatal needs to fill those gaps in terms of communication, dialogue with the people. And I think communication is very important in any industry we find ourselves in. I think they're doing a great job. I think if we come together and find, in all honesty, we find a way where we can balance conversations, we can slowly take ourselves from this inconsistency of power to a more consistent power grid. Hopefully we can have more private hands, which we already do have. We also are looking at options where the market will be because the more hands we get, the more players we get in the market, that would also drive the cost down. If there are just a few people playing in the market, we can't do much. They're also innovatively, we can't do much. But I think,
bring in more players. That's the way to go. Well, I want to say thank you to me. Unfortunately, this is all the time we have, but we will bring you back. Maybe we'll start talking about private sector, stakeholders, getting into this energy, alternative sources of energy so that we can help upgrade our system. Yusuf Tumi Abubakar is the CEO, he's the CVO ENA, he's the CEO of CVO NA Plus Des Moines. I keep mixing it up, but thank you so much, Tumi, for coming on the show. We really do appreciate you. All right, thank you. Well, Lagos, we're going to go on a quick break. On the other side of the clock, Daniel Boala joins us. Stay with us.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.